It's a new week in November 2019. Jupiter is in Sag for another 3 weeks. Oh. The moon is in Aquarius. How you feeling there? And the rest of everything that we've been talking about is pretty much in place. Thomas Miller, thanks for joining us. We talked about a couple of things over the weekend that if you didn't catch the Saturday and Sunday podcasts, Mercury Retrograde on Saturday, update on the electional astrology on Sunday. That's about it, guys. We might be doing some other, I don't know, talking about what are the characteristics of the houses or something for the next little bit, because here's the deal. Let's go around. Let's start with the sun, okay? So the sun will be in Scorpio firmly until around the 23rd. It's at 11 degrees right now. Mercury's not coming out until December, so it's in Scorpio in retrograde right now. And again, Saturday's podcast was about that. I have a different take on Mercury retrograde a wee little bit, and so you can just listen to that. I'll reference that back, but if you haven't heard that, it's good groundwork, I think. Mars is slowly making its way out of Libra, still at 20 degrees, so we've got several more weeks to go there. Venus and Jupiter, as I mentioned yesterday, it's kind of the beautiful picture of the chart right now is you have the two most benefic planets in Jupiter's home. I just look at that and I smile. I look at that energy and I go, because to me it looks like parentheses. You have Venus on one side, Jupiter on the other. The problem is Jupiter's moving toward Capricorn. I'm like, no. So then, and then carrying on in Capricorn, Saturn, Pluto, and that is the big highlight, has been for a long time. We've talked about that ad nauseum. The moon today and tomorrow in Aquarius, tomorrow night, 6:07 New York time, moves into Pisces. So some deep reflection coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, really. That will be kind of nice. Neptune in Pisces, not going anywhere. Uranus in retrograde and Taurus, not going anywhere. The nodes in Capricorn South Node, North Node Cancer, not going anywhere. So there you go. Isn't that funny in contrast to where everything was this summer when it was just, there was so much moving around, the aspects were changing almost every day. You've got this predominant kite pattern in there now. Now, you do have the big square, we've talked about this too, Mars to Saturn and Pluto. That is an aspect worth taking note of. We've talked about this several times, but let's drill down and unpack this one just a little bit, because this one is of taking note, and now that I'm thinking about it, I can attribute a trigger this past week to this configuration in my own life. So let's talk about this. So Saturn and Pluto, that's the big deal. We've been going over that over and over and over. By the way, I left the birthday balloons up. I'll leave that up maybe today, tomorrow. So if you didn't get the Saturn-Pluto download from the Fun Astrology website, go to funastrology.com, click on the balloons, and you'll get a free download of Saturn-Pluto. It's about an 8-minute video that shows you exactly what this aspect is all about. So Saturn is in Capricorn at 15 degrees right now. Pluto is at 20 degrees. Saturn, being the faster mover, will catch up with Pluto, and they will both be conjunct, so sitting on top of each other, at 22 degrees, 46 minutes. That happens on January 12th, next year, 2020. Okay, now keep in mind, right now, today, they are 5 degrees apart. Saturn is at 15 degrees Capricorn. Pluto is at 20 degrees. Mars is up in Libra at 20 degrees. It actually hits the minute mark of the aspect tomorrow, but it's still by degree right now, and by orb, it's been, like I said, it's been there for a couple of weeks. Really, you can trace all of this back to mid-October, especially the third week of October, because Mars has been in this aspect, this square, this hard aspect, if you will, between Saturn since mid-October. Now Pluto is in the mix. So if we take them individually, what you've been feeling, or if you have experienced some Saturnian characteristics with Mars, Mars is the warrior. Mars is the aggressor. But also Mars is a trigger. So if you've had anything come up where there was some kind of a snap reaction, that's part of this. That's what's going on. And you can't mention Mars without talking about sexuality either. So if there's been something pent up or triggered around that area, then here you are again. Now, Mars related to Saturn, karmic path, karmic purpose, foundation, structure, alignment with, or let's say deviation from your karmic path. So if there's a glaring area of your life that is out of alignment, this could trigger. Mars could trigger with Saturn to bring something up to expose that. Does that make sense? Keep it from the perspective of this is all working together in order to move you along your karmic path according to your soul's plan. You know, these two guys are working together because our ego is so stubborn. That's really the bottom line. It is. Our ego gets in the way. We dig in our heels. We prevent the growth. And another way to look at this is, I've been quoting Pierre Teilhard Desjardins recently. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are truly spiritual beings having a human experience. And when you look at it from that perspective, when you zoom up to 70,000 feet and you look at all of this from a detachment of our humanity, and you look at these things that come up as just lessons, it really changes the perspective. Now, Mars with Pluto, that's the transformational work itself. So if there have been some triggers to move you to face the mirror, really, I was going to say force, but no, not force, move, gently bump you into having to deal with stuff, then that's the trigger as well. That's the Mars-Pluto. And that was what I was referencing, not to crack the door open too much to our little lifestyle around here, but Majan and I had one of these this past week. Little issue came up, and if you strip all the stuff around it back, it was about doing this transformational work in our lives. It hit both places where we both need to grow. So if you have a partner who is your catalyst to your spiritual growth, you could have gotten some triggers this week. Definitely possible. All right. Now I'm out of soap. I'll have to go looking for stuff for the rest of the week. All right. Enjoy your Moon in Aquarius Monday. I'll see you tomorrow.